Hello vinyl community and fellow Beatle maniacs, and welcome back to another video. Today's video is going to be more of a video response to one of my favourite Beatles YouTubers, me, Mr Mayo. If you don't know who he is or you've not watched his videos, I will leave a link in the description below. Absolutely fascinating channel. I really enjoy looking at his Beatles collection, his insight, and just really genuine guy. So make sure you watch his videos. One of the last videos that he put up was a countdown of his least favourite to most favourite Sgt. Pepper songs, and obviously in the midst of Pepper season, I thought I would jump on that bandwagon as well, because watching his list made me think, what would mine be? Because I've never really thought about ranking songs before. I tend to think of Beatles albums as a collection, and I just listen to them complete. I don't ever skip songs either. That's not the kind of Beatles fan I am. I tend to take the albums for what they are. However, it was quite interesting, and it took me longer than I thought it would to come up with the ranking. What I did know when I watched Joe's video was that I could tell straight away that his list and my list were not very alike at all, and that inspired me to make this one. So I have a list in front of me here of the 13 songs from Sgt. Pepper. And I'm going to rattle them down from 13 down to 1, and I'll tell you a little bit about why I've made certain decisions. So yeah, I've got with me this is the 2017 reissue double LP. So this has got the remix on disc 1, and the second record is the original running order of Pepper, but it presents alternate takes. It's quite a nice way to hear them. So I'll just leave that there for decoration. I think we know what the cover looks like by now. So number 13, and like a lot of Beatles YouTubers say when they do these countdowns, the 13th one doesn't mean I really dislike this song. It just means I like it less than the others on the album. And it was interesting because I didn't think this would be 13, but it is, and that would be Lovely Rita. I've got that at 13. Why? Nothing wrong with it. It's very well produced, fairly inoffensive, it's nice and catchy. Really like the sped up piano solo in it, etc. But like a lot of those type of songs that Paul does, I think you've got to be in the mood for them, and I don't think that's not the song that I would have on repeat or go back to again and again. So yeah, if one's to come last, that would be it. In 12th place, another surprise. This is certainly a fan favourite. It's probably the very first song I ever heard on Sgt. Pepper, because we used to sing it at school. And I'm talking, of course, about When I'm 64. And I guess it's there not because I dislike it, not because it's a bad song, just because I think I've just heard it to death. And if I wouldn't be devastated if I never heard it again. But yeah, not because I dislike it. Like I say, I don't. But I've probably just heard it too much to really appreciate its qualities. So that's number 12. Number 11, I have put the opening track, and why? I guess because it is an intro. It is what it is. It has to be connected to the second song as well for it to kind of make sense. And for an intro song, to introduce the sort of idea of the album. It's really, really great, but it's not really a standalone song. So because of the nature of the beast, I guess, I've put that one in 11th place. Number 10. Feeling sorry for Paul here. This isn't deliberate. It just so happens that this is the way that the cookies crumbled on this one. And number 10 is Fixing a Hole. Love the instrumentation on it. Really like the harpsichord. The bass line's great. That guitar solo, very singable. Great vocal on it. I just think there's better songs on the album, so that's why that one is in 10th place. Right, so number 9. This might be where I get a bit of I'm going to sort of start to stoke the fires of controversy a little bit now, because my song number 9 is Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. And Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, it's just not my favourite song. I think it almost tries too hard to be psychedelic. I think John's written better lyrics. Certainly Am The Walrus is a much better version of that sort of out there type lyric. Great recording, lovely instrumentation, great keyboard intro, fantastic bass again, great backing vocals, nice hook. It just doesn't really do very much for me, and it's higher up on the list, I think, than some of the previous ones, just because of the strength of that performance. But I think as a composition, it leaves a little bit to be desired for me. Number 8, which a lot of people have at number 13, is Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band Reprise, and I've got that one higher because I think it just rocks more. It's a bit heavier, it's faster, and I really enjoy listening to it. And I know, again, it's designed to wind the album down, but I'll take this over the intro every day of the week. It's a great performance, fantastic band performance, brilliant drumming on it, and yeah, I think personally for me it works better as a song than the intro. Song 7 is Good Morning, Good Morning. Really like this song, particularly like the stripped down version off Anthology 2, and again on the bonus disc of the recent re-release. I think I said on a previous video that the rhythm guitar is fantastic. That really comes out very choppy. The drumming's fantastic. Those bits really fly out. The issue I've got with this one, if anything, I think it's possibly a little bit overproduced. I think there's maybe slightly too much brass in there. But I really like the song. I find it particularly interesting in the documentary that came with the deluxe edition. George Martin's talking about the vast array of time signatures in the song, very Lennon-esque. I mean, makes me think of songs like Happiness is a Warm Gun that jumps from meter to meter. And I think for that reason it's higher up on the list. I think it's an interesting song, and I like the fact it's sort of inspired by that sort of everyday life, I guess. You've got the cornflakes reference, and you've got Meet the Wife, the British sitcom of the age, and yeah, I think it's an interesting song, and that's why I've got that slightly higher up at number 7. So, number 6, another interesting song, Being for the Benefit of Mr Kite, is number 6, which John, I know, later kind of attacked a little bit, called it a piece of nothing or something. Basically because it was written to order. If you watch my unboxing, you'll see how taken I was with the reproduction of the poster. From which that song is basically taken from wholesale. I just really enjoy it. Brilliant production, really brings to life that sort of circus feel, and really great side one closer. Number 5, with a little help from my friends, possibly Ringo's best performance in the Beatles. Again, a song I've known forever, but unlike When I'm 64, I can listen to this one again and again and again. And I think it's sort of raised to brilliance with the call and response between John and Paul and Ringo on lead vocals. And the brilliance of the 2017 mix really brings out the detail in this one. The drumming's fantastic. Again, the bass line, beautifully melodic. Yeah, great song. Number 5. Right, my number 4. I'm going to champion Within You Without You. I'm going to have a go anyway. This song, probably for years, would be the one that people would skip. It was certainly the weirdest song on the album, an acquired taste. Maybe the youth of the day, when they heard it, thought, what is this? However, I think George Harrison played an absolute blinder here. From a lyrical standpoint, it was absolutely where he was at that particular point in his life. Spent a good part of the previous year really getting to grips with Indian instrumentation, and his spirituality, which of course shaped a lot of his solo career. But for me, again, due to this new remix, what an incredible performance this is. Obviously there isn't a Beatle playing on it, but what I love, and particularly the bonus disc that we get, you hear George coaching the Indian musicians and singing exactly what he wanted, and it was really interesting to hear exactly how strong his vision was. And obviously lots of Beatles fans are aware that John and Paul, for all of their genius, didn't make life particularly easy for George, certainly didn't welcome him into the fold. He kind of had to make his own way as a songwriter. And George Martin also has admitted that he wasn't particularly encouraging of George either. I mean, Only a Northern Song was the first song that George brought to Sgt. Pepper, and it was dismissed completely and said, no, you need to go away and write something better. And to be fair to him, he did. I mean, I like Only a Northern Song, but Within You Without You is a brilliant, brilliant song. And while I'm talking about George Martin, the score that he composed to enhance the Indian instruments, the way the Western instruments counterpoint the Eastern instruments, is fantastic. And that instrumental break on the new remix, just go and listen to it with headphones on. It swirls around you. It's absolutely incredible, and particularly the percussion. So, I mean, Within You Without You was always high, but I think this new box set has raised it to number 4. Number 3, She's Leaving Home. Absolutely beautiful song. A decent score from Mike Leander. Really love the 2 versions that we get on the bonus tracks of just the orchestra. But for me, what makes this song is the collaboration between Lennon and McCartney. So it's largely Paul's song, and Paul sings as a third-person narrator, but it's John's segment where he's the voice of the parents, and obviously the way those 2 voices blend together is astonishing, and it's really, really moving. And that final bye-bye that ends it, it's just really, really touching. And again, 2017 remix just highlights how good that is. So that's my number 3. Number 2, obviously you're going to know which songs haven't been mentioned yet. Why is my song number 2 so high on my list? Well, this is my list of songs that I enjoy the most. It's not necessarily the best songs or the most iconic songs or the most important songs. And Getting Better is my song number 2. And it just makes me smile. And I'm thinking to myself, do I need a better reason than that? I don't think I do. The Beatles transport me to a very happy place, and Getting Better, from that intro, sumptuous harmonies, incredible beat behind it, again great bass line, again the Lennon-McCartney thing, the famous got to admit it's getting better all the time, can't get no worse. Absolutely, and to me that's the summer of love. I mean, that's more than the psychedelia. It's that sort of joyous, sort of the optimism of that song. I kind of put it in the same category as Good Day Sunshine off Revolver, and another one that just makes me smile effortlessly. Again, in super duper 2017 clarity. Have another listen to Getting Better. It's brilliant. And number 1, I can't disagree with Joe on this, and ditto critics, most listeners. A Day in the Life is an absolutely monumental achievement, arguably unsurpassed in the Beatles catalogue. Everything from composition to instrumentation to production to the score to the incredible thing they did with the orchestra, to Mal Evans counting in the background, huge piano chord at the end. But the star of A Day in the Life for me, and again, Mr Unsung Hero of the Beatles, Ringo Starr, those tom-tom fills from verse 2 onwards, just absolutely banging. You know, he's had a lot of stick over the years as Ringo, you know, the passenger, the luckiest man in show business and all that kind of thing. He could drum, and he was the perfect drummer for that band. And I know of a lot of professional drummers who have been quoted over the years, and they point to A Day in the Life and they say, that's why. So put all that together, and what you end up with is just a piece of genius, a perfect way to end that album, and that's why it's top of the list. So I'm gonna park the video there. Hope you've enjoyed my musings about Sgt. Pepper. I'll be interested to see where you rank the songs, and please leave your comments below, whether you agree, disagree, want to flame me alive for putting Lucy in the Sky so low or Getting Better so high. Let me know, and I will see you again for another video. Goodbye.